What's up, guys? We've got one here from P's World. Woman with high standards realizes she isn't the prize after breakup. Let's get into it.
These are my controversial dating non-negotiables that should not even be controversial. Firstly, if you don't have a driver's license or a car. Whoa, Jamie, did you really just say that? Yes, I did. I don't see why that's controversial. Personally, I don't really want a big massive man in my passenger seat. It's not going to make me feel very taken care of. Also, you should have a driver's license. That's what we were doing in sixth form. Let's keep on top of things. Let's be organised. If he doesn't have his own apartment, but do you even have an apartment yourself? No, and that's why you should have one. Is this not simple maths? If we both don't have an apartment, what are we going to do? What, sit in the park like when we're 14? What, are you going to push me on the swing and I'll push you down the slide? Let's start getting real, yeah? We're adults. Secondly, I'm a lady. Don't ask me what I have and what I don't have. That's none of your business. If he's in the habit of liking girls' pictures and just spends too much time lusting over women on social media, yuck. Non-negotiable. I don't want a man filled with lust. People always try to make that like an insecurity thing, but no. Why would you want a man that's filled with lust? It's a recipe for disaster. Find better things to do in your spare time than looking at and thinking about women. That includes if it's me that you're lusting after. I'm not flattered by that. Relax. This goes without saying. Asking to do 50-50 on dates. Now, when did this become controversial? Exactly. Why would you take a lady out on a date and then ask her to pay for half of it? Shame, embarrassment, self-respect, dignity. Do you feel any of those emotions at all? Oh no, I need to test her because she's just using me for my money. For what money? What money? The £50 for dinner. You haven't done your big one like you think you have. Men that puff up their chest to argue with women. And worse, if you're doing it online. First of all, why are you... Shush. Go and argue with your mates. Go and argue with other men. How can you be arguing with a lady? Yeah, but that's a double standard. If she can give it, she can take it still. Shh. Go and argue with your match, because you won't do it. If you can't abstain for at least one whole year, I don't understand those kind of guys that just have to be sleeping with a girl or you have to be dating a girl. It doesn't matter. You just have to. You are governed by lust. And that's not going to stop just because you get into a relationship or you get into a marriage. You're a lustful being. You need an entire lifestyle change. It's not normal to actually be constantly seeking out someone to sleep with, date, just for the sake of it. High key, it's an addiction. And by the way, I know there's going to be some angry incels in the comments saying, we don't want to be with you anyway. Or they might say, but you've got a wig on. You were wearing makeup. That makes that without all that, I'm better than you. In your dreams, you wish, go and scratch your bum somewhere else.
You know, I would say I would agree with her or with women with this line of thinking, providing they held themselves to the same standards, but we know most of them don't. We got Misentitlement 2025 here is back at it. No car, no license. And guess what? The world doesn't revolve around your passenger seat preferences. And let's not skip over her math genius logic. You don't have an apartment, but I need one. The audacity is Olympic level. And then we get to lust. Social media is the devil. Okay, but I bet she's scrolling thirst traps like it's a second job and splitting dates. I mean, heaven forbid you chip in on that steak that you ordered. And here's a newsflash. You want quality, pay your half. Men puffing their chest online. I mean, lady, you just did a TED Talk on hypocrisy.
I actually don't hear a lot of people talking about how different breakups feel when you start dating like higher echelon men and higher value men. Like when you're dating like an average guy or even like a below average guy, you guys break up and like there's shit you can hate on. You can think like, wow, he was a loser, he like was a bum, he had no drive in his life, he didn't have a job, he was a horrible boyfriend, whatever. But when you date upper level men and then have to go through breakups with them, you can't say any of that shit. The guy you were dating was educated, made lots of money, had an amazing job, took care of himself, looks good, is tall, etc., and has lots of options. Like, there's nothing you can attack for your own ego. And on top of that, a lot of people in breakups love to be like, well, they're gonna regret that. They're gonna regret fumbling me. But when you're dating higher value men, they probably won't, because they can replace you like that. So yeah, I've raised my standard and I'm dating like way better guys now, but going through breakups with them is not for the weak.
So breaking up with high value men is harder. That's because the only thing left to blame is yourself. When Mr. Tall, Rich, and Handsome has options, your sob story gets downgraded to background noise. I mean, hate to break it to you, but he's not regretting it. He's probably on his yacht with a new you. Let's be real, raising your standards means swapping a broke guy for a rich one when you lose? I mean, tough luck. You know, maybe you should focus on your own value instead of chasing his.
Life is so funny because, like, one day you're living in a $10,000 a month apartment and, like, getting to do whatever you want and eating at Michelin star restaurants all the time and going on a vacation to the Amman Hotel in Sri Lanka and then extending the trip and going to Singapore and staying at the Ritz-Carlton. and you're with this man who you think you're going to marry, and he's made you financially dependent on him over the course of the relationship. And then you get into a fight one night and he turns ice cold and cuts you off financially completely, and you have no cards because you've been using his card, so you don't have any money on you. And while you're sleeping, has his friend go over to the apartment that you guys have shared since like the lease began and moved in together, and like it was our apartment, and has his friend pack up all of your stuff and then drop it outside of your friend's apartment in his hallway. Says find your way back to New York, and it's January, so when I get back to New York I will have technically nowhere permanent to live. And there's absolutely nothing I can do because I wasn't on the lease, and he was calculating in that. And obviously this is partially my fault for making the mistake of becoming financially dependent on someone when I really didn't need to. Like, I had a career, I had tons of friends, I was happy. Yeah, we'll see.
Now, to add some background context here, I've seen another video of her somewhere. If I could find it again, I would have put it in here. I think she lost her job and kind of stayed with him, traveled with him. She wasn't out of money. I think she said she lost her credit cards and was waiting for replacements. I mean, it's not like he just put her out on her ass with nothing. So a lot of the story here is stretched a lot. This is a half truth. Let's just put it that way. You know, basically she's coming off as this modern gold digger, trying to live the dream of a $10,000 apartment, Michelin star restaurants, vacations, you know, and then the gravy train derailed over an argument. She's depending on a man financially, is the adult version of building a house of cards in a wind tunnel. You know, and the guy who bankrolled her lifestyle had contingencies. I mean, how dare he, right? But here's this big revolutionary idea: independence. It's 2025. That's what all you women been screaming for. If you're capable of funding your life, why rely on him? You play stupid games and you win stupid prizes.
I don't care what any baby mama say. Having to raise your kids by yourself is not a flex. And this is coming from a single mother. Listen to your sister. Don't let any baby mama deceive you into believing that being a single mother is more convenient than being a wife. You hear me? When I was pregnant with my daughter, I went through the whole pregnancy by myself. Ain't nobody going me to no appointments, no baby shower, no gender reveal. When my water broke, I got us to the hospital and from the hospital. And I can go on and on about my baby daddy. F my baby dad. F my baby dad. But I slept with him. So what kind of woman did that make me? A crazy motherfucker. Okay? You way too beautiful, way too smart, way too intelligent to be going through something like that. So live your soft girl life. Ain't nothing wrong with saying you too good to be a baby mama. You right. Because us strong black women not strong because we choose to be. We strong because we have to be.
Single motherhood as a flex, nobody's really buying that. You know, strong women shouldn't be default setting. It's a cry for societal reform. Instead of glorifying struggle, how about focus on accountability? Look, you picked a guy, you laid in bed with him, you both made a kid. This isn't strength, it's survival. And being a wife is stability, but hey, your soft girl life sounds cute until reality shows up with diapers and overdue bills. I preached this before, but it's been a while. She says she's on any type of birth control, protection, whatever. Wrap it up anyways. If you don't want a kid, don't take her at her word. Wrap it up. Just be safe, and then you won't have to worry about having a kid that you really didn't want or leaving a kid with some crazy ass person.
Because I feel like it needs to be said. Y'all need to leave these married men alone because they're not leaving a wife, okay? And even if you go tell a wife what's going on, they 9 times out of 10 ain't leaving a man, okay? They not leaving that happy home. They don't give a damn. So save yourself the time, save yourself the embarrassment, save yourself the heartbreak, and go find you a man that is available and single. Stay away from these married men or these men in relationships, because I promise you, you're not gonna get the end result that you want, okay? It's not gonna work out in your favor, babes. It's just not. Because what will happen is, if you go to that woman, you tell that woman, hey, you know, I just want to let you know I've been with your man. I've been seeing your husband. They're probably gonna go fuck your man. I'm gonna wait patiently. I'm gonna wait for you to fall in love, okay? Save yourself the emotional trauma. Save yourself the embarrassment, because if that 9 times out of 10, they got a friend that's gonna be ready to pull up on your daddy, okay? They're gonna wait for you to fall in love. They're gonna wait patiently. They're gonna be quiet. And then they gotta pounce. And payback is okay? So just focus on yourself. Find you a man that's available, ladies. Let's find men that are available. The men that are not available are not for you for a reason, okay? And if they doing that to their wife, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it to you. Okay? That's usually how it works. Relationships, marriages, let that just be off limit to the girls. Okay? Let's let that be off limit to the girls. Go find you a man that's available. And if you find out that man ain't available, just exit stage left. Ain't no point in telling the wife, because she probably already know about it anyway, or she probably don't give a damn, or well, I don't know, or she probably don't know. I don't know. To each his own. I'm just telling you in general. Most wives, if you go to them and tell them that you've been with their man, they're not leaving them. Okay? So save yourself the time, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up embarrassing yourself, and somebody going to fuck your next man. Okay? So let's keep it cute. There's plenty of men that are single. If y'all need advice, if y'all need help finding a man, come call me. I will help you. I will hook you up. I am the best. I give the best dating advice. I give the best advice. I can really help you find a man. Like, I am really good at that. I am very good at finding emotionally available single men. Okay, so if you're having trouble in that category, call me, because I got you. But stay away from these married men, because they ain't no good. Okay, they're not leaving their wife, and their wife ain't leaving them. Okay.
Somehow I think she's speaking from experience, but stay away from married men, obviously, is good advice. And of course, majority of the married men are probably not going to leave their wives, and you're just going to be the side dish, side piece, sneaky link, whatever the hell you want to call yourself. And if they did leave, you'd be next in line for betrayal. Focus on emotional available men. Again, good advice, but as long as the parade of red flags isn't more exciting, which usually seems to be the problem. Solution simple, which is self-respect, and maybe stop fishing in the drama pond and aim higher.
I'm not going on any more dates anytime soon. No. No. I'm sure you guys have seen all those articles going around about lawsuits against dating apps and how dating apps are essentially just totally ineffective. People are on there and just stay on there. And the actual success rates are so low, but then the ones that you hear about is like all you hear. So many of my friends have met their significant others on the dating apps, and I'm like, why is that not working for me? Now, I don't think all of them are necessarily compatible, I will say that. But, they're like, oh, it's a numbers game, you gotta just keep like blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people like settle for people that like them back and don't want to think deeper on like, okay, is this my forever person? Just like feels good to be loved, and the thought of getting back out there is like horrible. And meeting people naturally is really, really tough now. But lately, and by lately I mean like the last 2-3 years, I've been feeling like the dating apps is just like people play it like an actual game. The people on there that are actually looking for a relationship, I think there's just so few of them. I think in general, women are a lot more intentional than men. I think men are on there. And I heard actually a guy say this though. Women are on there for validation to see like who they could get. These are all the people they could get, but that they don't actually want to talk to them. And men are on there kind of like trying to hook up. But if a relationship comes out of it, it's like a plus, but they're not necessarily on there for a relationship. I feel like with women though, like a lot of women are actually on there for a relationship, but it also is an ego boost as well, because your dating pool just got so much bigger than just like the people that you're meeting at bars and at work and whatnot. And also, I feel like a lot of people aren't working in person anymore. You're not doing as many of those happy hours. You're not like combining friend groups as much. You're just not meeting people naturally as much. So you kind of have to use the dating apps. But then the dating apps just feel like a total fucking trap. I'm like, this cannot be it. I'm not gonna stop dating necessarily. I'm gonna be open to it still. But in terms of like the dating apps, I think we're just taking a little step back, just a little, you know what I mean? But it's like mentally just draining to be preparing yourself for the dates, to be talking to people, to, if a date goes well and they don't follow up, you're like, what the fuck? If the date doesn't go well, and like, how do you navigate that conversation? If you're on a date and you're like, why am I here? Or you're on, like, the
dating apps, it's a dystopian wasteland masquerading as connection. It's a numbers game. Translates swiping through an endless sea of mediocrity. And the complaints, classic. Women use the apps for validation, men for hookups, news at 11. The real tragedy is dating's been reduced to gamified disappointment. And here's a hot take. Step away. meet people in real life. But wait, that requires effort and accountability, wouldn't it? Anyways, modern dating is a circus of entitlement, inflated standards, misplaced priorities, from women demanding lifestyles they can't provide for themselves to men opting out entirely. The dating pools just becomes this toxic swamp. Blame social media for fueling delusions of grandeur or corporations for gamifying human connection. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, which family values are extinct. As always, solutions: men, protect yourself, focus on self-improvement, and not saving someone else. Women, drop the entitlement, bring something more than demands to the table, and both sides need to recalibrate expectations. And everyone ditch the apps. They're absolutely horrible. They're designed to fail you and take your money. You want love, build something real offline. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the video here today. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drop me a comment down below what you think. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.